As Caesar embarked on a mission to confront Pompey in the east, he knew that dealing with the Pompeian forces in the western provinces was equally crucial. To achieve this, he entrusted the task to a young and inexperienced general named Gaius Scribonius Curio. Though lacking in military experience, Curio was not alone in this endeavor. He had a trusted subordinate named Gaius Caninius Rebilus to assist him in leading the army. Before I proceed, I have a humble request to you. I would greatly appreciate if you could support me by subscribing to my channel. Now, let's continue. The stage for the battle was set in Africa, where a Pompeian general named Appius Verus held control of the province of Utica. Verus had the backing of King Juba of Numidia, a North African coastal territory mostly consisting of present-day Algeria. King Juba sent him additional support to counter Curio's forces. Utica was a strategic stronghold, and Verus intended to use it to his advantage in the impending confrontation. Curio's journey to Africa began in Sicily, where he quelled the opposition without engaging in any battles. With his mind attuned to developments in Spain, Curio waited until early August before setting sail for Africa with his legions and cavalry. His fleet landed at Thanara Bay, and from there, he marched his army towards Utica, an ancient city in the present-day country of Tunisia. As Curio and his troops approached the town, they faced an initial skirmish with a group of Numidian soldiers who had come to defend the town's inhabitants. The Numidians were defeated, and Curio secured supplies for his army from the unprotected ships in Utica's harbor. Encouraged by his early victory, Curio led his forces towards Utica to face Verus and Juba's reinforcements. However, a moment of doubt arose among Curio's soldiers, and some considered abandoning him. To resolve the crisis, Curio addressed his men directly, reminding them of their loyalty to Caesar and their earlier acclamation of him as imperator. His words inspired the troops, and they rallied behind their commander once again. The next day, the two armies faced each other across a valley, with Curio and Verus preparing for battle. When the Numidian cavalry advanced, Curio's cavalry and cohorts struck them, sending them into retreat. Seizing the opportunity, Curio led a decisive charge, crossing the valley and driving Verus's troops into disarray. Verus's men fled, leaving their commander demoralized and withdrawing most of the army into Utica. Curio's victory was not without challenges. He wanted to take Utica but lacked the means for a full-scale assault. Instead, he decided to besiege the town and starve the enemy into submission. Verus was approached by Utica's leading citizens, who implored him to surrender to spare the town from the horrors of a prolonged siege. However, Verus remained confident in King Juba's impending arrival with reinforcements. Having defeated Verus at Utica, Curio believed he had the upper hand and started forming a contravallation around the town, intending to starve the enemy into submission. However, reports of King Juba's approaching forces caused Curio to change his plans. Assured by false information that Juba was far away, Curio decided to march towards the Bagradas River to confront Saburra, Juba's military commander, who was believed to be leading a smaller force. Curio's cavalry attacked Saburra's advance party and drove them away, leading to Curio's belief that victory was at hand. Encouraged by initial success, Curio pressed forward to engage the Numidian forces. Yet, the scorching sun and lack of water soon wore down his tired and thirsty troops. The Numidian cavalry, skilled in maneuvering on the open plain, continuously harassed the Romans, while fresh reinforcements from Juba's army bolstered Saburra's ranks. Despite Curio's efforts to rally his men, their resolve began to crumble, and the Numidians started to encircle the Roman line. Realizing the dire situation, Curio ordered a retreat to some hills on the plain, but Saburra cut off their escape. The Romans scattered, and a massacre ensued, leaving Curio and many of his soldiers dead on the battlefield. Back at the Castra Cornelia where Curio had made his camp, Marcius Rufus, who had been left in charge, tried to maintain discipline, but chaos ensued as news of the disaster reached the camp. Ships fled, leaving the stranded soldiers behind, while others fought to secure a spot on the few boats available. The survivors of the battle sent delegates to Varus, seeking assurances of safety, but when Juba arrived, he broke his word and executed the remaining soldiers, sparing only a handful of senators. With Juba now in control of Utica, he sent a message to Pompey and the Republican senators, who granted him the title of King of Numidia. Caesar and the Roman Senate proclaimed him a public enemy. Thus, the Battle of the Bagradas was a crushing defeat for Curio and the Caesarian forces, leaving them in disarray and strengthening the position of Pompey and his allies. The fate of the Roman Republic hung precariously in the balance as the war continued to ravage the once great empire. The struggle for power and dominance would persist, drawing brave men and ambitious leaders into its relentless grip. The echoes of these epic battles would reverberate through the history, shaping the destinies of nations and leaving a lasting legacy on the world. That's all for today. See you in the next episode. Hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and share it with your friends, and if you have any suggestions for me, please let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching and have a great day ahead.